I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I didn't confront her. Instead, I watched her world quietly start to shake. A little backstory matters here. My soon-to-be ex-wife had grown emotionally involved with someone she worked with. I discovered it right before the world shut down for COVID. Suddenly, we were stuck inside together, isolated from everything else. During that time, we talked, we tried to repair what was broken, and slowly things appeared to return to something that looked like normal. Or, at least, I thought they had. Months later, we went on a vacation to Hawaii. It was supposed to be a reset, a fresh start, warm air, blue water, and distance from everything that had hurt us. Near the end of the trip, I needed to use her phone to upload her vaccine pass so we could fly back home. I wasn't searching for anything. I wasn't suspicious in that moment. And then, I saw it. She was still communicating with him. Not occasionally, not casually, but consistently. She had been messaging him throughout the entire trip. That was the exact moment something inside me went completely quiet. I knew I was done, but I also knew blowing up wouldn't help me. So instead of reacting emotionally, I chose to be patient, deliberate, and calm. I deleted the entire message thread. Then, I blocked his number. That was it. The next 24 hours before our flight were strangely peaceful, almost perfect. She was attentive, affectionate, trying very hard to keep everything light. But underneath it all, I could see it. She knew something had changed. She knew the connection was gone. What made it powerful was this. She couldn't ask me about it. If she confronted me, and I hadn't touched her phone, she would expose herself. So she stayed silent, and that silence ate her alive. She became restless, distracted, checking her phone over and over. Her hands trembled slightly. Her eyes kept searching my face, looking for confirmation, or forgiveness, or maybe fear. Watching her unravel, without a single word being spoken, was something I'll never forget. On the long flight home, we barely spoke. Hours passed in complete silence. She was visibly shaken. She knew something was coming, she just didn't know when. I waited 3 more days. Not out of hesitation, but preparation. I quietly arranged my exit. I gathered everything I needed. I also recovered the remaining messages she had hidden elsewhere. Proof I didn't even need anymore, but clarity I deserved. Looking back, I'm not proud because I won. I'm proud because, during the most painful moment of my life, I stayed grounded, controlled, and self-respectful. I was a chef for a well-known, all-inclusive hotel chain. I loved my job, and I always gave my 100% in everything I did. One day, I was called into the kitchen and told, "You need to pack your bags and move 3,000 miles away to another hotel to fix a labor issue." I agreed happily, but I set one condition. If I successfully solved the labor issue, I would have the choice of any hotel location I wanted. When I arrived at the new hotel, I got straight to work. I took charge of the labor problem, and at the same time, I took over dinner service for 750 people. Every day was long, exhausting, but I knew hard work always pays off. After a few months, the labor issue was completely resolved. The kitchen was running smoothly, just the way I liked it. So I asked my manager, "When will I be transferred to my chosen location as per our agreement?" And the answer was shocking. "Since you've done such an amazing job, we want you to stay here indefinitely." I was stunned and honestly a little angry. This was not what we agreed on. I told management that this was unacceptable and I demanded my transfer. They said they would look into it. I gave them 3 weeks, enough time to discuss it with head office. I clearly told them, if nothing happens in 3 weeks, I will walk away and never look back. 3 quiet weeks went by. I politely asked again, "Has my transfer been processed, or at least is it in the works?" The answer was no. The next morning, I made a bold move. I gave the entire dinner staff the day off and told them do not answer any work calls. I set up the kitchen as if I were prepping dinner. Onions and herbs in hotel pans covered with foil, garlic sizzling in the pans, everything looking completely normal from the outside. I kept up the charade until around 4:30 p.m. Then I left the kitchen, went to my room, grabbed my bags, and went to the lobby to wait for my ride. The manager came out freaked out. There were 750 prepaid dinner reservations that night, and there was no food. He said, "If you walk out, you will never work for this company again." I just laughed, shook his hand, and said, "Goodbye." I never looked back. I never spoke to anyone from that company ever again, even after 20+ years. I still remember the pride I felt that day. Sometimes standing up for yourself, setting your boundaries, and fighting for what you deserve is the biggest victory of all. This happened last spring, 2025. Like the title says, my ex-boyfriend Tom, he was 18 at the time, broke up with me just a week before prom. Also, he could take another girl instead. Honestly, I was heartbroken. I didn't know what to do at first, but I knew one person I could always count on, my sister Emma. She was away at university, but I called her immediately. As soon as I told her what happened, she didn't hesitate. She said, "Don't worry, I've got you." And that's when the plan started. Emma's boyfriend, John, had a younger brother, Jake. I had only met Jake once before, but somehow, he immediately volunteered to go with me to prom. At first, I was hesitant. I barely knew him. But Jake was excited, kind, and funny. And honestly, I just wanted to make Tom jealous, to show him that he didn't break me. Prom night came, and everything changed. From the moment we arrived, I had so much fun with Jake. He was attentive, made me laugh, and somehow made the night even better than I imagined. Honestly, I think I enjoyed myself more than I ever would have with Tom. By the end of the night, I realized something unexpected. I was already starting to fall for Jake. But now let's get to the clever little plan, because this is where things get really interesting. Tom's mom, she always hated me. I remember her saying once how excited she was to hear Tom's name called at graduation. And Emma, my genius sister, she saw an opportunity. She devised a plan. Emma, John, Jake, and a group of their university friends all came to my graduation, armed with air horns. Emma and John sat near Tom's mom, while the others, including Jake, spread throughout the stands. Some even hid under the bleachers. They knew exactly where Tom's name would be announced alphabetically. The moment came. Tom's name was called, and all at once, the air horns went off. It was loud, chaotic, and absolutely perfect. His mom couldn't hear a thing. Emma almost couldn't stop laughing. It was hilarious. A perfect little lesson moment for Tom. After the ceremony, Tom's mom complained to the school administration, but there was nothing they could do. They couldn't tell who did it, and anyway, what's done is done. Emma had pulled off the perfect plan. Jake and John and the rest definitely played their part, but Emma, she was the mastermind, the architect of the plan. Fast forward 7 months after graduation, and here we are. Jake and I are still together. I love him, and he makes me happier than I ever imagined. And Emma? Well, she's still my hero. This story isn't just about clever moves. It's about family, support, and unexpected love. And sometimes, just sometimes, the smartest moves are the quietest ones. I am a 49-year-old woman, and my roommate is 42. We live together with her older children and my sister. Recently, we've been preparing to move, and it has been incredibly stressful. All of us are on a fixed income. Money is tight, paperwork has been exhausting, and everything has taken longer than expected. After weeks of waiting and filling out forms, things finally started moving forward. That's when the conflict really began. I used $2,000 of my own Christmas money and paid it directly to the landlord for my share of the rent. After that, I personally gave my roommate $500 for my portion of January's rent. I didn't want to hold on to cash. I wanted everything handled cleanly. In my mind, I was completely paid up. I had already contributed more than my fair share. That $2,500 covered my rent, possible damage, and even a pet deposit. As far as I was concerned, I was good through February. But my roommate didn't see it that way. She started insisting that I still owed her another $750. She showed me complicated math, spoke very quickly, and jumped from one explanation to another. I told her no, calmly and clearly. I said I had already paid $2,500 and that was enough. That's when things became emotionally draining. She accused me of ruining everything. She said I wasn't cooperating because I wasn't doing exactly what she wanted. She began micromanaging every detail of the move and every conversation. She became rude. She used demeaning language and at one point said she would explain things to me like I was a child. I told her, I don't need an explanation. The landlord already has my $2,000. How he chose to apply it, rent, pet fees, or damage, was out of my control. That amount alone was already more than sufficient. The $500 I gave her was done in good faith. I didn't want confusion. I just wanted everything settled. Still, she continued demanding another $750. And that was not going to happen. Her behavior became overwhelming. She would speak rapidly, present convoluted explanations, and demand that I listen. If I try to end the discussion, I was suddenly labeled a bad person. The constant pressure caused intense anxiety. I felt emotionally manipulated, deliberately confused, and worn down. The entire experience has been harrowing. What hurts most is this. I truly believe I did everything right. I paid the landlord. I gave her money to pass along. I even made sure the movers were paid. Despite all of that, she kept pushing, blaming, and demanding more. So finally, I said this. This conversation is over. I told her I didn't need to explain myself anymore. I paid $2,000 to the landlord. I paid $500 to her. And that was it. No more discussions. No more arguments. No more pressure. That was the end of the conversation. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us share more real stories, real emotions, and real experiences. Thanks for listening. This is Reddit Reality USA.